The conference chamber aboard the Nexus station floated in the neutral zone between three star systems, a testament to centuries of careful diplomacy. Daniel Chen straightened his collar as he watched Ambassador Orla Sullivan approach the crystalline podium, her silver diplomatic sash catching the light from the station's fusion cores. "The Terran Coalition," Orla began, her voice steady and measured, "proposes a 15% reduction in antimatter weapons production across all signatory species. The energy savings alone would—" The neural disruptor struck her mid-sentence. Daniel's augmented reflexes kicked in before his conscious mind registered the weapon's discharge. He watched in horror as Orla's body convulsed, her neural implants overloading in a cascade of electromagnetic feedback. She collapsed to the deck plating, smoke rising from the connectors at the base of her skull. The Krez delegate who had fired the weapon, a hulking creature with 6 limbs and chitinous armor, didn't lower his bioweapon. His translator crackled. "Humanity speaks too much. The weak should listen." Daniel was already moving. His fingers flew across his wrist-mounted quantum communicator, entering the sequence he'd hoped never to use. 3 codes: biometric confirmation, retinal scan. The message transmitted in 0.3 seconds via quantum entanglement, bypassing all conventional communication delays. Protocol Covenant Alpha initiated. "Medical team to Conference Hall 7, Daniel shouted, dropping beside Orla. Her eyes were open but unfocused, her augmented heart struggling to maintain rhythm. He checked her vitals through his own implants, severe neural damage, potentially irreversible. The other delegates erupted into chaos. The Vex representative's translator screeched demands for order. The Thurian ambassador's bioluminescent skin flashed warnings, but the Krez delegate simply stood there, weapons still raised, mandibles clicking in what Daniel's cultural database identified as satisfaction. "You have murdered a diplomat under the Accords of Centauri Prime," Daniel said, his voice ice-cold as he stood. "You have violated 17 treaties and initiated an act of war against Earth." The Krez delegate's laugh translated as a grinding sound. "War. You are 300 light-years from your homeworld, human. You are one ship, one voice. What will you do?" Daniel met the creature's compound eyes. "I already did it." 400 million kilometers away, near Jupiter's L4 Lagrange point, the first defense satellite received the quantum burst. The AI construct designated Guardian 7 had existed in a state of patient vigilance for 93 years. Its neural network, grown from human brain tissue and quantum processors, had only one purpose: to evaluate threats to humanity and respond with overwhelming force. It had never been activated. Until now. Guardian 7 processed the Protocol Covenant Alpha signal in microseconds. It cross-referenced Orla Sullivan's vital signs, Daniel Chen's biometrics, and the real-time feed from his neural implants. It analyzed the Krez delegates' actions, compared them against 17 different legal frameworks, and reached its conclusion in 0.7 seconds. Verdict: unprovoked attack on human diplomat. Threat level: existential. Response authorized. The signal cascaded outward. 700 defensive satellites throughout the Sol system received identical instructions. Shipyards orbiting Mars, Europa, and Titan began emergency production protocols. The Lunar Command Complex went a full military alert for the first time since the Outer Colony Wars. But most critically, the message reached Earth. In a bunker 2 kilometers beneath the Swiss Alps, President Sarah Okonkwo stood before a holographic display as her military advisors materialized around her. "Confirm identity of fallen diplomat," she ordered. Ambassador Orla Sullivan, chief negotiator for the Centauri Accords, her AI assistant responded. "Neural death confirmed. Revival probability less than 2%. Okonkwo felt something cold settle in her chest. She'd known Orla for 20 years. They'd served together during the Mars independence crisis, had shared countless late nights debating humanity's place in the galaxy. Status of Protocol Covenant Alpha. Fully activated, Madam President. Guardian Network requests permission to proceed with Stage 2. Stage 2 meant war. Not the limited conflicts humanity had engaged in before, border skirmishes with pirates, police actions against rogue colonies. This meant total war, the kind that would either establish humanity as a power that could not be challenged or see them exterminated by the older, more numerous species of the galaxy. "Show me the scenario projections," Okonkwo said quietly. The holographic display shifted, showing probability trees branching into thousands of possible futures. In 73% of them, humanity lost. Their fleet was outnumbered, their territory small, their technology inferior in some key areas. But in 27% of scenarios, humanity survived, and in 12% they won decisively. "What gives us the advantage in the winning scenarios?" Okonkwo asked. Her chief military advisor, Admiral Torres, highlighted several data points. "Speed, Madam President. We're the newest species in the galactic community. We still think in terms of total war, while they've grown complacent with their treaties and diplomatic protocols. If we strike hard and fast, before they can coordinate a response, we become what we're fighting against," Okonkwo interrupted. "Aggressors, murderers." "With respect, ma'am, they fired first. Ambassador Sullivan is dead because she advocated for peace." Okonkwo closed her eyes. She thought of Orla's last message to her, sent just 6 hours ago. "I think we're making real progress here, Sarah. The Krez are finally coming around on the weapons limitations. Maybe we can actually build something lasting." The president opened her eyes and looked at each of her advisors in turn. "Authorize Stage 2, she said, "but with modifications. I want precision strikes on Krez military installations only. No civilian targets. No orbital bombardment of population centers. We prove that humanity is better than this, even as we defend ourselves." "Madam President," Torres protested, "that reduces our probability of success by—" "I don't care about probabilities, Admiral. I care about who we are. Proceed with authorization." Back on Nexus Station, Daniel watched the medical team work on Orla's body. The lead physician, a Thurian with 4 delicate manipulator arms, looked at him with what his translator interpreted as regret. "I'm sorry, the neural damage is too extensive. We can maintain basic biological functions, but her consciousness, it's gone." Daniel nodded slowly. He'd known, but hearing it made it real. His communicator chimed. A quantum-encrypted message from Earth, Stage 2 authorized, Fleet Diplomat. Estimated arrival 47 hours. The conference chamber had been evacuated, all delegates recalled to their ships. Only Daniel remained, sitting beside Orla's body in the medical bay. The Krez delegate had fled, of course. His ship had departed within minutes of the shooting, racing toward Krez space. Daniel's implants calculated trajectories and intercept courses automatically. The Krez vessel wouldn't make it home. A fast attack cruiser from Earth's 5th Fleet was already en route, its antimatter engines pushing it to 0.3 C. Daniel took Orla's hand. It was still warm, her augmented heart still beating, but everything that made her who she was had burned away in that moment of violence. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "You dedicated your life to preventing this, to building bridges instead of burning them." His communicator chimed again. This time, a message from President Okonkwo herself. "Daniel, I know Orla would want us to be better than our worst instincts. We're responding with force but with honor. Help me make sure this ends with peace, not extinction, ours or theirs." Daniel looked at Orla's peaceful face one last time, then stood. He had work to do. The war that Ambassador Orla Sullivan had died trying to prevent was coming. But perhaps her final legacy could be ensuring it ended the right way, with humanity proving that strength and morality weren't mutually exclusive. He walked toward the communication center, already composing his response to Earth. The galaxy was about to learn what happened when you silenced a human diplomat. They were about to learn that humanity would fight, but they would fight as Orla would have wanted, with precision, with purpose, and with the hope that even from war, peace could emerge. And